Hey, this is Russ. I have another new bike to show you guys. You might not think it's new, but it's new to all of us. Take a look at this one. This is the new Euphree Solar Sparrow chain version. Didn't they have a Solar Sparrow before? Yes, they did. It's the belt drive version. This is the chain version. Yeah, take a look down here. Yeah, got a derailleur down there, and we got a chain. Let's talk about this one. Why is this one different? And why you might want to consider this version of the bike. Now, I went ahead and I asked Daniel, who's the owner of Euphree, what are the main differences between this and the belt drive? Well, he's got a number of things. So let me go ahead and show you first, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. You like this orange? Yeah, this is really striking, and I really like the fenders being color-coded with it as well. All right, let's talk about this. So right off the bat, how much is this thing? This is what always gets asked. $17.99, okay? $17.99, making this a less expensive version compared to the belt drive version. The belt drive version was a single speed belt version. There was a Gates carbon belt on it. This is now a chain version with a derailleur, so you have multiple speeds on here. It's 8 speeds, and the speeds, of course, is trigger shifted right up here. Okay, Shimano equipment here. Is a Shimano Altus derailleur down here. Try to keep my shadows out of there. So you got 8 speeds on here now versus the single speed of the belt system. Let's get into this while we're down here too. The chain ring is currently at 52T. Now, that could change. He's been talking about maybe lowering that a little bit. But the freewheel in the back is already a 10 by 32T. So even if this eventually ends up at, let's say, 46 or 48, the 10T down here is going to make up for that. We don't expect to see any type of ghost pedaling happening, even though the front chain ring might go lower. Still undetermined whether that's going to change in time or not, but right now it's 52T. The motor, 750 watt motor with internal stator. So this again is a very quiet motor. Some of the things that people have said in the past about Euphree is the motors seem to be noisier than they like. Well, not anymore. Not anymore. Everything is nice and quiet now. Rigid front fork. So in the past, right up here, there was a suspension system on the older belt system. This is now a rigid front fork. Do you miss it? Not really. I've gone over some bumps as I've been testing this, and I have not had a issue really too much with the front fork being rigid and not with a suspension system. Painted metal fenders, as we've already mentioned. That's new. And also new is that we've got the suspension seat posts from SR Suntour NCX seat posts on here. Now, the entry down here is lower too, okay? And of course, it's a step-through design, so you can get through pretty easily. So let's talk a little bit about all that stuff too. Well, let me go through some of the things that Daniel told me first about it. He says, you know, the biggest selling point on this model versus the competition is the chain drive, okay? It has the best riding position with the suspension seat post. Compared to competitive models from other brands, they don't have a SR Suntour suspension seat post. This one does, and it does go way down, okay? Because you see it goes way down there. So even at the lowest setting, anyone who's a little bit shorter can still ride this bike and still get a suspension seat post, and the height is perfect for them. Okay, so if you're a shorter rider, don't have to worry about it. You still get the suspension seat post that'll work. Now, what about the guys who are taller? Guys like me? Well, admittedly, for me, I'm 5'10", and as you know, I like a very long leg extension. I don't seem to get that with this. Yeah, I'm very close to being at the right extension, but I'm just a tad short of it. So maybe 1 inch, 2 inch, I don't know if it was a little higher. But you know, the suspension seat post is the size that it is. It's made by SR Suntour. So the alternative would of course be to change that out with a taller seat post, but then you would lose the suspension seat post. So it's something to consider. I don't know, we might actually do that for me because I do like such a tall extension, but you know, not everybody does. Many people who ride these bikes like to hop off the bike, not like me, but they like to stay seated on the bike and not have to hop off the bike, I should say, when they're stopped. So, well, it's up to you. It depends on how you like to ride, okay? So anyway, let's get into some of the specifics now. Like all Euphree bikes, obviously, as you look in the front here, the cable management is top notch. Nothing hangs all over the place here, okay? Everything goes back into the frame. So even your cabling for your brakes is all internal in the frame. You don't see any of this stuff. This is what stands their bikes out a lot, is because they've paid attention to stuff like that. Even in the back here, again, where are the cables? Goes through the frame, comes out here, okay? So everything looks clean, even on this side. Here's the rear brake thing. It's gone through the frame. There it is there. Comes out here, all right? So when you look at the bike, you don't have wires all over the place. It's super clean looking. This is the key to the Euphree bikes. And if you put a front basket in the front here, yeah, that cable is not going to get in the way of the basket, okay? Some of the other bikes, sometimes you wonder if it's going to make it in there. And let me say, the paint job is really nice. There's nothing that you see in terms of welding points either. Everything's smooth. Somebody mentioned to me before, how come the Euphree bikes cost what they do? Why are they a little bit more expensive? Well, now you know. Yeah, you're getting a premium product. Costs a little bit more to do some of those things, and of course they add top-notch components. You've got the textural hydraulic brakes here, and you've got Kenda tires with the well, I don't know if you can see it, but when it reflects that reflective thing around the outer wall of the tire, looks really cool. Yeah, these are kind of street style tires too, so they don't have the big knobbiness to it, and that makes it nice and quiet on the street. Okay. All right, what is the weight? Well, 59.5 pounds. The range is up to 50 miles on a smooth surface if you're not going up and down hills all over the place, and if you're a certain weight, and if you're riding on pedal assist level 1, you can get up to 50 miles. Integrated wires, yes, we already mentioned that. Color coded fenders, yes. Rear rack is included, okay. That is in there. Seat post is a 50 millimeter suspension seat post. There are no turn signals, so that you know that. The motor is a 750 watt motor down there with 85 Newton meters of torque. So again, no issues going up and down hills. 48 volt, 10.5 amp hour battery. Okay, that's 504 watt hours for those who need to know that. The sensor is switchable inside the display screen. We're gonna go do this display screen inside the house. It's just easier to see it than outside in the sun sometimes. So we'll do that at the end of the video, so just stay tuned for that. So in there, you can change it from torque or cadence sensor, depending on how you prefer it. Standover height from down there is 16 inches, so it's way easy to get through. Minimum saddle height is 30.5 inches. 160 millimeter cranks. Front chainring is 50T. Yeah, did I say 52? 50T on here currently. And freewheel, of course, we said is 10, so it's 10 by 32T down there. That 10T is a special of Euphree. Nobody else has that. Okay, that was designed by Euphree. Okay, tires are 26 by 2.2 Kenda tires. Okay, what does it say under tires here? Quick 6. Is that what it says? I think it says, I'm trying to read the sidewall. Okay. Top speed, 28 miles per hour, class 3. I think when it ships to you, it comes out as class 2. So that would be 20 miles per hour pedal, 20 miles per hour throttled. But you can change it to 28. I, of course, have changed mine to 28, and I have reached my 28 miles per hour. Weight of the bike, like it says, just under 60 pounds. Total capacity, 300 pounds. This is SGS certified to UL 2271 battery standard and UL 2849 e-bike standards, okay? All right, am I missing anything here? Controller is 48 volt, 25 amp controller, okay? Your LCD screen is on the left-hand side, along with your thumb throttle is on the left. A lot of bikes now put them on the left rather than on the right because the right has the trigger shifters and that kind of gets in the way. Comes with their nifty little bell. I like their bell, it's kind of cool. The adjustable handlebar stem is there. You can adjust that to almost vertical if you wanted to, or angle forward the way you like it. I have mine slightly tilted. And right in the middle there, there's an optional cell phone case that you can purchase from them, and that'll clip directly onto the handlebar stem if you want that, okay? Charger is a 48 volt 2 amp charger. There's a Type-C port on USB port, which is typically down on the bottom underneath here. You can't really see it, but it's down there, okay? And then the headlight is a 200 lumen dual beam LED headlight. And of course, in the back, you have tail lights, which is right here on the back of the rack. When you hit the brakes, it will light up. Okay. 6061 aluminum alloy frame, as many of the bikes have. They recommend rider heights between 5 foot and 5'10", and I am at 5'10", so I am at the maximum range, and that's probably why I feel that if I had just a little bit more, I would be a little more comfortable for me. Not everybody needs that, but I do. I think that covers pretty much everything as far as what the bike is currently offering. I did have a chance to ride this for a little bit before I came out here, and I would say it rides really well. Yeah, between the belt and the chain, it's personal preference, but I'm liking the chain a lot. Yeah, I like having the speeds to be able to change it if I need to, if I'm going up hills or anything like that. Makes it a little bit easier for me, and it's less expensive than the belt. Now, so what happened to the belt system? Well, they do have some more of the belt version available, but they are going to be coming out in September, around that time frame, with a new version of the belt drive system. So what is it going to be different? I don't know. We have to wait and see. So obviously, since they're upgrading to a different belt drive version, there must be some changes that they did, but we just don't know what that is at this point. Okay. Personally, I like the chain. Right now, I like the chain. I'm curious myself. Now, you do have swept back handlebars like we typically do on many of the Euphree bikes, and that makes it a lot easier to maneuver. I did not get a chance to put on a rear view mirror yet on this one. I wanted to get this review out as soon as I can because they have bikes available for you to buy now, and I don't want to wait too long. Saddle is nice and cushy. I have no complaints about the saddle at all. It's nice and wide and cushy. I'm fine with it. Battery is right up here. You push this down, it releases a cover, okay? And the batteries are there, and the charging port is right up there too, okay? And of course, the battery is locked in place. There is a key hole there. Undo the key thing, and then of course the battery can come out. But just so that you know, this cover is not locked in place. Anyone can steal that cover. So that's the one thing I think I've always said, well, it'd be nice if that locked the cover as well, but it doesn't. All right, just so that you know. Okay, the grips are Euphree branded, and they are non-rotating grips. There's a little hex screw there that locks it in place, nice and cushy. So yeah, very good grips on here. Makes holding onto the bike nice and easy with these swept back handlebars. Yeah, and this type has the pop out end cap. So if you wanted to put an end mirror, a bar end mirror, you can do it on either side. Some of these grips, as you buy them in the bikes, they don't have that, and sometimes you have to cut it out. This one is just the typical plug in the plug, and that makes it a lot easier to put a end mirror if you want to do that. Or, like I said before in the past, you can get the mirrors that have the ability to attach here. I would probably move this forward and attach it over here, and then have a nice long arm to come out here if you wanted to have a mirror that goes on the handlebar itself. I have recommendations in the description of the video if you're interested in that type of mirror. Pedals are, there's kind of a grip type pedal here. So it's kind of like a rubber grip. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. I like it, looks nice. All right, let's take it out for a ride, see how it goes. Okay, let's see how the new Euphree Solar Sparrow chain works. Do a little bit of pedaling here. Although it's not windy today, when I ride up against the wind, I can, of course, feel the wind hit me. It's about 72 degrees outside right now, so it's actually a very nice breeze for me. All right, we'll go our normal path here. We'll get off of this. It's a very quiet ride. You really don't hear the motor at all. I mean, what I hear more is the tires on the pavement. I hear a little bit of the front wheels brake rotor. I probably need to make a slight adjustment to the brake so that it doesn't rub up against it as much. That stuff will work its way out too. As you use the brake and you start wearing the brake pad a little bit, then all that stuff goes away anyway. So I don't know whether I'm going to mess with it or I'm just going to leave it for the initial part of the life of the bike. And as I hit the brakes, you can hear it. Of course, that's pretty standard stuff. No outlet. Okay, let's go this way. Let's go this way. All right, let's pedal a little bit here. Now this is set up for torque sensor and cadence sensor. I currently have it on torque sensor mode, which of course means the harder I press on the pedals, the faster I will go. If I don't press hard, then I don't go fast. Yeah. Now you do have pedal assist levels over here on the left-hand side. If you go on the display screen, there is basically off, which means you get no pedal assist, and you can do that too on this bike. It's not impossible. You have Eco, Tour, Sport, and Turbo modes. Okay, so depending on whatever your pedal assist level is set for, it will depend on how fast you will end up going. Okay. Now, if you want to switch back and forth, you want to go back from, say, torque sensor mode to cadence sensor mode, you do need to go into the menu to be able to do that. And we'll show you in the video that's done on the inside of the house after the riding video part is done. Stay tuned and watch that, because I'll show you how all those things are changed. Okay. Now I have unlocked my bike to 28 miles per hour. If in your area you're allowed to do that, feel free to do so. It's your decision. Otherwise the bike will come to you at 20 miles per hour, class 2, which of course is pedaled to 20 and throttled to 20, okay? Class 3 in their bike is 28 miles per hour pedaled and 28 miles per hour throttled, just so that you know that. Make sure it's legal in your area to do that. The gears, okay? If I go up to 8, man, I've got a lot of what should I call it? Resistance. I'll call it resistance. Yeah, you can feel it. That is, I mean, you go down to that 10T on the freewheel, you're never going to you're never going to have a problem with like saying, well, you know, I'm ghost pedaling. No, you're not. Not on this bike. Not on this bike, you aren't. I like the swept back handlebars. Keeps me more upright. Okay. It's not as swept back as some others, but this is nice in this particular thing. Now, they said that the geometry of the bike is set up for someone who's maybe a little bit shorter, that has always said that, you know, these bikes are too big. I can't handle it. Not on this bike. This would be a perfect fit for anyone that's, what they say, 5'10" to about 5'10", 5 foot to 5'10". I believe it. Yeah. Step over height is very low, so it's very easy to get on the bike. And it's nice and compact, so it's easy to ride. So if you're a shorter rider and you want something that is made well for you, this might be the bike for you. And price-wise, it's competitive. It's $17.99. Yeah, it's a nice bike. Compared to my belt version, I kind of prefer this one right now. Yeah, I kind of do. I'm very curious what the new belt version will be, but we won't know that until September. But I'm really liking this version with the chain. Yeah, very quiet bike. Man, it's super quiet. All I hear right now is the wind blowing against my ears. I don't hear the bike at all. I'm sure you guys probably, the microphone tends to pick up all the little details. You probably hear the tire noise on the pavement, maybe a little bit of the scraping from the front brake, as I mentioned. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave that because it's gonna wear itself in. If I use the brake a little bit more, it'll even itself back out by a little bit and it'll be off. So I'm fine with that. If I adjust it now, it's not gonna need it later. I mean, I'm thinking take it out several times, it'll be perfect. So yeah, every bike takes a little bit of effort to tweak it, right? Here's one thing that I did notice, and I think it's worth noting to you. When I got the bike and I was checking it out, because I checked it out on the very first day I built it. I charged it up right away and I took it out right away. I wanted to see what the differences were. And I found that my rear brake light wasn't on when I hit the brake. And that is typical. This is not unusual. I've seen this happen on other bikes as well. I'll tell you what the fix is. So what you do is just simply unwrap this. You see the wrapping over here? I'm gonna angle down. Can you see that? Unwrap this right in the middle point. That's where the brake cutoff connector is. Yeah, it was disconnected. And I was told that, yeah, sometimes that happens because during the shipping, when these because the handlebar is not on when they ship it, you know, because it sticks out. So typically on almost every bike that you have to put on the handlebars. You know, there's 4 screws, you got to screw it on there. It's right up here, in fact. So the handlebars kind of hang there, and sometimes during shipping and bouncing, it disconnects that connection. So all I did is unraveled it a little bit, reconnected the connector, perfectly fine, okay? So if you get a bike, whether it's from Euphree or any other bike out there, and you find that, hey, my brake light's not working, check your connectors, okay? Sometimes those connectors do come off. I've had that happen on several bikes, not just Euphree, but from other brands as well. Yeah, little tidbit for you to know. Check all your connections, yeah. So what do you have to do to build this thing? Well, it's actually very easy. Like I said, the handlebar has to be put on, okay? You have to put on the headlight. Let me angle down. The headlight has to be put on here. Then there's a cable here, same type of connectors. You just push it in there. It is a specific way to do it. There's like a little notch. You just line up the notch of the thing. And there's like little arrows. You can see it. The 2 arrows put together, and then you know you're positioned, then you push it in and it locks in place. Yeah. Here's the bell. Yeah, I like their little bell. Kind of cool looking. So yeah, we're riding pretty good. Let's go and change the gears here. We'll kind of go right through them here. And yeah, it's changing really smoothly. No issues at all. I can feel it in my pedal as I'm doing it, that it's actually changing. And I can feel the resistance as I go higher up in the gears. Let's turn here. So yeah, it works very well. The thumb throttle is really good too. It's an easy push down. It's not a hard push. Some thumb throttles are so stiff that your thumb is going to tire out. Yeah, not this one. And the positioning is really good. So I can just like lay my hand here, push down a little bit, like right now, and I'm throttling right now. See, I'm not even having to hold it because it's got a good. It's got a resistance, but not a hard resistance that makes it hard to push. And that's important because you don't want to tire out, right? And when you let go, you can just pedal. Yeah, this is a very refined bike. It's what I would call Euphree bikes. Yeah, I like the fact that the paint job always looks really good. I like the fact that I don't see any weld points on these bikes. I can't say that for most bikes. Most bikes you see the weld points. This costs money, folks. It's not cheap to do that. Somebody's got to buff all that stuff out, right? But I think it makes the bike look that much better. Is that a performance thing? Well, no, but you know, I would rather make sure that the bike looks nice than not, wouldn't you? You paid enough money for it, you want it to look as good as it can. Yeah, you're not going to regret a Euphree bike. And this is one of the reasons why I take it out so often. You know, certain bikes I take out more often than others, and you'll find me riding the Euphree bikes at least a couple of times per month, if not several times per month. They're nice bikes, yeah. I would consider this a commuter style bike. Would I take it on trails? I personally wouldn't. I know some people might try. I think if you're going to put it on trails, you better have tires that can do it better. And that would be the knobby tires. But the sacrifice you have is that you don't get the nice quiet ride on the street then. It's very smooth. Right now, I feel really smooth on this. I don't miss the front suspension. I've thought I might, because the belt drive version had it. This one doesn't. It's a solid front fork. But the fact that I have a rear suspension on my seat, I think more than makes up for it. Anything I might feel here, I don't feel on the seat. So, and these are good suspension seat posts. Everybody knows of the SR Sun Tour and CX seat post. It's a well-known branded product, right? And this is the highlight that Euphree usually does, that they put well-known branded parts on their bikes. They don't go for cheap stuff. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Let's pedal some more. Yeah, I mean, I'm not getting the full extension I'm used to, but I'm still able to ride pretty well with it. I think for most people, they would be happy with this this height. They wouldn't have an issue. I just like mine's really high, as you know. Highly recommended. Yep, I would highly recommend this model. What about the color? What do you think of the color? There's different colors. Go on the website, you'll show the colors. I didn't take note of which colors are available or which might be coming. I have no idea. I was given this orange one. I don't know if he has a name. Flame orange, is that what he calls it? I'm not sure. I think that's what it's called. But it's definitely vibrant. Now I have an orange, safety vest too. I was so tempted to put it on. I says, maybe that's too much orange. So I put on the yellow vest, put a little contrast to the colors. Yeah, probably orange on orange won't look too good, huh? What do you think? I like the fenders. Color-coded fenders, yeah, they're metal fenders. In general, I'm more of a plastic fender guy, but if I gotta have a metal fender, man, I sure like the fact that it's color-coded. I mean, that's what stands it out. Yeah. I sent Daniel a photo of me riding the bike. Here, I'll show you guys some riding footage. So what I did is I took a screenshot off of the riding footage, sent it to him. He goes, wow, that orange really looks good. I go, yeah, it really pops, doesn't it? It really stands out. He likes it too. All right, let's go back and take another right. I was gonna take a left, but we have cars coming, so forget it. Just riding around here. So there you go. That's my basic review of the new Solar Sparrow chain. Keep an eye open in around the September time period. Euphree will have a replacement belt version. We'll see what he comes up with. There's always a little refinement here or there, so the hoping is going to be something that's good. It is expected to be more expensive. I asked him what his estimation of pricing will be. Now, don't hold us to this, but he's estimating $19.95 for the belt version. So it's going to be more expensive than this bike. So if you want to be a little bit less expensive, get this bike, get this chain version. I'm perfectly fine with the chain version. Some people like the refinement of the belt. You know, the belt systems, typically there's nothing to, you're not going to have chain wear, okay? You're not going to have chain slap. You're not going to have chain grease all over you if you have to do stuff. Belt's a little bit more refined, but the belt system, at least for the older one, is a single speed. So if you like the ability to go up and down speeds, which I tend to do if I'm pedaling and I'm going up a hill or down a hill, I'll shift my gears. Then the chain version will make more sense for you. So it's something you just have to kind of think about and see, you know, is the belt version for me or is the chain version for me? Yeah. If you want to save $200, get the chain version. It's tried and true. A lot of people who have chains on their bikes, but the belt's a little different. So there you go. All right. Thank you to Euphree again for the bikes and the continued support of the Russ is Right channel. And stay tuned. I have the inside video of the adjustments to the menu of the display screen come up right after this. Okay. Thanks again to Euphree. Sit tight. Okay, let me show you real quickly some of the functions of the display screen. Now there's 3 buttons here. There's an up and a down and then a power switch and function switch. Just go ahead and hold down that power switch until it kicks in. And there you go with the Euphree name. You'll see that the display screen is a color display. You can see this outside, but usually in the cameras you don't see it too well. There's information up on top, including the light. If you have your headlight on, all you do is you push and hold the plus button, and you'll see your headlight will kick in. And then if you don't want it, just push and hold the plus button again and it'll turn off the headlight. Now you got multiple things here. There's an up and down button here, which changes your pedal assist levels. Okay, so there's everything from manual mode where you basically, you're under your own power. Push it again and there's a assist level called Eco, and then one called Tour, one called Sport, and one called Turbo. This is how fast the pedal assist will help you when you're using these up and down buttons, okay? And there's preset levels for them, all right? So to get into the advanced functions, you would push and hold the plus and minus buttons together. But looking down here real quickly, still you have other things. You have speedometer here, how much battery power you have left. I'm at 50%. Your total miles in your odometer is 11.8 right now. I did not clear my trip meter, so I'm still at 11.8. And since that ride, I was averaging about 16.7 miles per hour. So to get into the advanced functions, just push and hold the plus minus buttons together. And you'll see that you have this setting. Display setting is really what we're going to be working on. So let's go ahead and push the power button again. And so you'll see that you have unit. I have the unit set for imperial unit. If you push the power button again, you can see you can go from metric to imperial. But here in the United States, we are imperial. So auto off is how long do you want the bike to stay on. If no one touches the bike, I have it set for 9 minutes. It'll shut itself down, okay? And then the next one is if you want to reset your trip meter. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to say yes to reset it. And then I hit the yes button again there. And you'll see there, reset the odometer. It says yes or no. You'll need a password to do this if you want to reset the odometer. And typically we don't do this. You need a special password. I'm not going to give you the password. So I'm just going to make up one. So it kind of drops us out of there. So I'm just going to kind of keep going and it'll just say system error, password error, and it'll drop us back in. Okay. Now brightness is how bright is the screen. I have it currently at 30%, but as you see, as I move it up in level, it becomes super bright, and I don't want to do that for this particular video. So we'll leave it at 30. Bluetooth signal, I have it on 5, which is the highest level of Bluetooth, so we'll leave it at that. Steel number, you should leave this at your current setting, which is 1, okay? And this is not something that you will mess with. This is, I think, is basically the sensors and stuff for your torque and cadence sensor things, the magnets and things. I don't think you should be messing with this one, so we will leave that at 1. Drive mode is where you're going to change from cadence sensor to torque sensor or vice versa. So if you want one of these, let's say you want the torque sensor mode, just use the up and down arrow to its highlighted torque and then hit the power switch again. And now we're currently on torque sensor. So if we hit the power switch again, you'll see we're still on torque, right? And if you want cadence sensor, just push it to cadence and then hit the power switch and that'll put you on cadence, all right? Light mode, standard light means the headlight will stay on, the tail light will stay on. If you put on flashing mode, then when you turn on the headlight, it'll be flashing for you, but I'm just gonna leave it on standard for now. Advanced settings, these are things that you probably won't be changing too much. Ride style, okay, you can change how the pedal assist levels work for you, but I'm not gonna mess with them, so I'm gonna put it on back and go back. E-bike class you will wanna consider. I have mine on currently unlimited, which basically means I can get 28 miles per hour pedaled and 28 miles per hour throttled. Class 3 would be 28 miles per hour pedaled, 20 miles per hour throttled. Class 2 would be 20 miles per hour pedaled and 20 miles per hour throttled. Class 1 would be 20 miles per hour pedaled assist, but no throttle. So I have mine on unlimited, but again, check to make sure you're allowed to do that in your area before you make these changes. It typically defaults to class 2 when it's shipped to you, all right? Now your throttle settings, you can change things here too, okay? But I'm leaving this at the settings that the manufacturer had set for, okay? So you're changing your throttle settings based on your pedal assist levels, but I'm gonna leave it, all right? So I'll hit back and we're basically out of there. You hit back again, and that'll bring you back to the main thing. Now there's other stuff here about information and language and themes. We're gonna skip all that. I don't think you really need to do that. If you can set the bike up for password protection, so without the password, the bike will not turn on, but I don't do that typically. Euphree Connect is when they're programming things, and factory reset is reset, of course. I'm just gonna exit, and now all the settings that I put in there are set at this point. And to turn off the bike, just push and hold the power button. And that's basically it. All right. Thanks again to Euphree for sending us bikes to ride and also to review here on Russ's Right. If you liked the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to purchase one of these bikes or any of the Euphree bikes, use the affiliate link that I have in the description of my videos. That does help my channel out. And it lets Euphree know that you saw the video here and that you wanted to make your purchase through here, okay? Doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does help me, all right? Thank you. Talk to you guys next time.